Good morning. Today we are covering section 2.3. We are solving equations with fractions. At this point, you should be comfortable solving complex equations. So this lesson will be very simple for you guys. And we're just going to follow the same steps. But let's review. An equation is a statement in which the two expressions are equal. So if we have an equal sign, we call that an equation. If we don't have an equal sign, we call that an expression. Now, in order to be able to solve an equation, we need to be able to isolate the variable on one side. So we need to be able to isolate or leave by itself the x, whether it's on the left-hand side or in this case on the right-hand side. So let's go through example number one. Example number one, we need to be able to solve the following equations. So first, using a red pen, I want you guys to divide the equation in two parts, right on the equal sign, all the way down. And we want to be able to leave the x by itself. So we want to be able to move this 2 to the right-hand side. Don't move the 7 because the 7 and the x are dividing. So we can't move just the 7 to the right. Move the 2 to the right. And remember, when we move it to the opposite side, we change the sign. So in this case, we have a -3. This was a -2, becomes a +2. Now, we're going to bring the left-hand side down, and we're going to simplify the right-hand side. -3 plus 2, that is -1. And now we want to be able to get rid of the 7. The x and the 7 are dividing, so the opposite will be to multiply by 7 on both sides. I'm going to place it in parentheses. Because 7 divided by 7 is 1, or we say that they just cancel. So we bring down the 1x, or just x. -1 times 7 is -7. And if you guys notice, once we multiply by the 7, we get the solution. Very easy process. B, we're going to go and draw the line on the equal sign to be able to separate both sides. I need to be able to leave the x by itself. Now we're going to leave the x by itself on the right hand side. Some of you guys might want to move the whole thing to the left, so just be careful. But I prefer if you guys circle the -5, not just the 5, but the -5, and we're going to move that to the left hand side. So we have a -3. This is a -5, so it becomes a +5. If you guys wrote down 5 minus 3, it's basically the same thing. It's equivalent. We're going to bring this down. We're going to combine like terms on the left. So we have -3 plus 5 different signs. We're going to subtract. And we're going to keep the sign of the bigger number, positive. We'll bring this down. Now, because this is a negative, I'm going to multiply by 4 and then divide by -1. Some of you guys might want to multiply by -4. And you get the same answer. So let's go and get rid of it by multiplying by 4. You can multiply by -4. So it gives us 8 is equal to, those cancel, -x. And then to get rid of the leading coefficient, -1, we divide by -1 on both sides. That will cancel. So we have x is equal to -8. Let's go and try example letter C. Same process. I'm going to go and draw the line. We're going to go ahead and try example C. See what you get, and then we can compare answers. Go ahead and pause it. So for example C, we want to be able to move the 1 to the right hand side. That is going to become a negative. So you have -x over 3. Notice that I placed the negative on top. And we have a -5. That +1 becomes a -1. Now some of you guys might want to multiply by -3 once we simplify, and which is fine. So we can multiply, but I'm going to multiply by 3 first and then divide by -1. That will cancel, so I have -x is equal to -18. When I divide by -1, x will be equal to +18. And notice if I, every time when I divide by negative 1, instead of x being equal, negative x equal to 8, x is equal to negative 8. Same thing here, x will be negative 7. Let's go over to example number 2. And example number 2, we also have fractions, and I know some of you guys, as soon as you see fractions, you start to panic. Very simple, draw the line. And we're going to do this in 2 different steps so you guys don't get confused. First, move the 5 to the right. That will become a positive. So same thing that we did on the previous problems. 2 over 3x. This is a negative 1. This negative 5 moves to the right, becomes a positive 5. Let's go and simplify the right hand side. We have 2 over 3x is equal to 4. Now, some of you guys have learned to multiply by the reciprocal, so if you're comfortable doing that, you can go ahead and take it one step and solve it. Otherwise, we're going to go through the same process as above. We got to get rid of the 3 by multiplying by 3 on both sides. This might be much easier for many of you. We have 2x is equal to 12. And then the last step is to divide by 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2. That cancels, so x is equal to 6. If you want to check to see if this is a solution, we can just plug it in for the value of x, and once we simplify the left hand side, it should give us negative 1. Let's go and do example B. Draw the line. Now I need to leave the x by itself, so I'm going to get rid of the 3 first by moving it to the left. We're going to leave the x on the right, just like we did on example B above. Move the 3 to the left, becomes a positive 3. So we have 3 minus 7 is equal to negative 1/2 x. I'm going to simplify. So 3 minus 7 will be negative 4. They have different signs. This is a positive, that's a negative. Subtract, keep the sign of the bigger number. Negative 1/2 x. Now we want to get rid of the denominator. So it's dividing, so we're going to multiply by 2 on both sides. Remember, it's multiplying. So 2 times negative 4 will be negative 8. The 2's cancel, so we have negative 1x. That means if negative 1x is equal to negative 8, that means x is equal to positive 8. Or you can divide by negative 1 as well. The negative 1's cancel. Negative divided by negative will be positive. Going pause it, try example C, see what you get, and we can compare answers. Go and pause it now. Great. For letter C, I'm going to draw the line. I'm going to move my 1 to the right hand side. That will become a negative. So we have 5 over 2x is equal to negative 4. That becomes a negative 1. We have 5 over 2x is equal to same sign. I'm going to go ahead and add. Keep the sign of the bigger number. Now I want to get rid of the denominator. There's a 2 on the denominator, so I'll multiply by 2. The 2 and the 2 will cancel, so we just have 5x is equal to negative 10. My last step is to divide by positive 5, just by 5. That will cancel, so x is equal to, remember you are dividing, so you are using your triangle. A negative and a positive will be a negative 2. And that will be all. Please email me if you have any questions. Thank you so much and have a great day.